is the end of broadcast button on the right hand corner. Then you should see a comment section, which is the live comment or chat.
Okay.
Okay, do you see that?
I see a chat area.
Okay, yeah, so if I click on that, then I'll say hello. Okay,
Okay.
and then you should see my hello there. And then you should be able to say hello back just to test that everything is working. Now, the only thing is, if a triple X site comes into the YouTube channel, I don't see it. Now, you sent it to the private chat, though.
Oh, I see. Oh, go to comments. Got it.
Yeah,
There you are.
comment. Yeah, there you go.
I
We'll get
see
it.
you.
We'll get it. I think that's where some of the people are having issues with this. So, if we can figure it out and share with them what we know, then it'll help everyone get the comment section and possibly the live chat a little bit more active.
Okay.
The only way to monitor the YouTube channel is to actually be there. But now I don't want to do that when I'm trying to do the live stream part of it, if you know what I mean,
Sure.
because that might tax out my system if
Mm-hmm.
with too much work on the bandwidth and everything like that. I like to call it I have it what was the phrase I used to use, but I'll use this one for now. I have a glorified dial-up type internet, but it's current, up to date, broadband, but it's still like just a step above the dial-up. so
Okay.
so in other words, it's a little tricky sometimes. And with the snow and the bad weather, who knows how it's going to react.
Well, yeah, I worried about that earlier. We got quite a bit of snow here today, so I thought,
Oh yeah,
you always worry about losing power, even though that
yeah,
doesn't happen to us very often, but it would be just like it to happen on a night I had
yeah.
something that I needed to do.
Well, I'm considering investing in some of the backup powered, the portable ones that you can have that can
Uh-huh.
actually run the house.
Right.
So I was considering doing that with some, of course, some home do-it-yourself solar panel type of stuff. And the reason why is just for that reason. When if the power lines break because of the ice and snow, at least I can plug that in. I still got power.
You can go. Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I don't have to worry about $1,000 worth of food going bad because power goes out. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and or the equipment failing because it didn't have the power going to it. Okay, so now I
Yeah.
got this only going on. Now you can share it to your side if you want to,
Okay.
on your channels. I have it going to my channels only because I didn't get the permission to share it on anyone else's, and I certainly don't want to spam anything and
Sure.
get yelled at for overtaking their channel. I don't want to do that at all. I think it'd be okay if I did that if I shared it on Marines. She'd be fine, but she's taking tonight off. She was going to be with us tonight, but she had some health issue come up, and so she's not able to
Oh,
be with us. So pray for her.
yeah, definitely.
And we need her. I need her. I would have liked her to on here tonight with you. That would have been fun with both of you. But you know Marine, I think, right? You've seen her,
Mm-hmm.
and you know who she is. So she's a fun person, very nice, very very connected. I think with anyone that she talks with. I don't know how to put that any other way. And I think you know what I mean by that, though. Uh, but
Makes
anyway,
sense.
we wanted to have you on the first hour and
Right.
kind of get through it. And if we have anyone showing up and watching the show, maybe we can do some readings for them or whatever.
Sure.
But we can kind of share what do you do exactly. I've seen you. It seems like I've known you like for I don't know what 2 years at least.
It's been a while now.
And I've known you on Joey Medea's stream and maybe Tanya's
Right.
too. She had
Mm-hmm.
her own personal shows.
Yep.
Um, and then I on Craig and the Three Beards guys. And so we kind of follow the same path on who we want to watch. Okay, so we have the same interest and theories, maybe even that which is hard to find today, where several different people have the same ideas and thoughts and theories, and we all get along. We're not arguing over some stupid thing. We're not trying to prove anyone right or wrong. We're just enjoying the information what we can share. And that's kind of what I do this radio show, or this video show here. Used to be radio only, and if you went to my website, you seen all those shows that were audio only, and that's how it was done in the early days when I first started doing this show. I created this particular show on Friday night when there was nothing else live on the radio that I knew of that I was interested in. So I said, fine, then I'll start my own show on Friday, and I called it Intermission Transmission. so that way when
It's very clever.
The regular radio station I'd listen to and the podcast I listen to, they'd take a couple of weeks off for holidays or whatever, I keep right on going. Intermission Transmission, right?
Yeah, fill the void.
Yeah, there you go. And so then I had people that, they had a couple of weeks off because of the holidays. Sure, I'll come on your show and talk with you. so that's how I got people to do that.
Something nice to do, spend time together, yeah.
Yeah, and nothing serious, no tie required, preferably a shirt, you don't want to scare too many people. And if you're wearing anything underneath the camera view, I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what one of those things that COVID taught everybody. You can get away with sweatpants on the bottom as long as you look decent on top.
Or the pajama bottoms or whatever.
Yeah,
no problem. What I just noticed today and yesterday on the news about the flu coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I think it's because everybody's immune systems are down. Nobody's been anywhere for a couple years.
well, the interesting thing is, and I don't mean to go crazy on this topic here because I want you to have some time to share what you do, but I just had a thought earlier before coming onto the show, which is probably a bad time to have a thought, because then all of a sudden that's what you want to talk about, right? But I just noticed it on the news. They said, the school kids are getting flu. Well, yeah, they were at home all this time dealing with the incident. I call it the incident. I don't call it the other name because you don't want to get banned. So you call it the incident. That could mean anything, right? So you call it the incident, and then they go back to school, and then they get the first thing. They get a little cold. Oh my gosh, they got it, or they got the flu, or they got something that they're not used to having. That's because you haven't been in the public to get it,
Yep.
And I think we have to experience the togetherness in a world that we're supposed to be together, and I mean that in a positive way. We're supposed to be together, be cohabitation with each other, not necessarily in a relationship or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in general. Church activities, whatever, movies, baseball games, whatever. We have to coexist together in order to fight this thing and in order to make ourselves stronger. Okay? Now, just my own opinion. Don't check me on that, please, fact checkers. My own opinion. Now, I don't have any music on this show either. So
That's okay.
Facebook is always claiming that I have music on my video, like this one. And they always claim that, we banned you in 17 or 70-some countries because you had music that belongs to somebody else.
Copyright stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have any copyright music.
That became a problem in, I teach yoga. And at several different studios, and they actually have people who go around and come in and spot check your classes. And if you're playing music that you don't own in a group class, like just from like Amazon Music or something like that, they can fine you.
Oh wow!
They'll like threaten to fine the studio if they catch the teachers playing music.
Well, that's mean if you're trying to do something to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess what you need to do then is get some private artist that's willing to support that effort.
Yeah.
Luckily,
we have quite a few local artists here that do that. So we
go.
have some CDs, online music of theirs that we can play.
There you go. Somebody was doing the singing bowls even.
Oh yeah.
and somebody claimed they had a copyright on that, and like, wait a minute, that's a bowl that makes a sound. How
It's
can you
a frequency,
have
a
a
megahertz
copyright on that?
frequency.
Yeah, that makes no sense that they can even copyright that. That's like
Yeah, that's
saying they
weird.
want to copyright the Bible, like when you try to play the audio version of the King James version, for instance, which
Uh-huh.
I did the whole thing through on my radio channel. I did that all the way through. One year I did through the Bible, and I did an audio. I played the I can't remember the guy's voice, really deep voice that did the reading. And old guy, he's probably gone by now, but um, I never got any copyright issue on my radio station. Now, if I tried to play it on YouTube, I probably would, you know.
Yeah.
But the Bible should not be a copyright issue because of the fact that it's Fair Use Act or universal, if you will.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, because everyone wants to learn the Bible, everyone wants to know the Bible, and we should be free to express it and to share it and talk about it as we want to. And it's a common thing that's in most everybody's house, you know, or at
Mhm.
least on a computer where they can look it up. And now we might be practicing some things that are totally opposite the Bible, you know. But I don't see a problem with some of the stuff that we're doing because you're talking about yoga, which is a holistic healing, right?
It is. Yep.
And Reiki and things like that. And it's more or less a no contact spiritual healing from even a distance at most times, you know.
Mhm.
And so how can you have a copyright on that kind of stuff? That's kind of weird too, you know.
Yeah, it does seem a
So
little weird.
and I just think that YouTube needs YouTube or Facebook or whoever is saying that they need to loosen up a little bit and they get more people interested in doing podcasts and possibly generate more funds for themselves if they allowed certain things to go on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then if if we had a thing where no, this might happen eventually. I always said that if I paid so much a month, or if we did it annually, and I could play whatever music I wanted to on my YouTube channel, I'd be willing to do that. Okay? And
Yeah.
as long as I didn't get a copyright issue, and the artists that I played, they got recognized for me using their music.
Sure.
Okay? And then I wouldn't mind paying a small fee for that if I didn't get any copyright notices for doing that. Okay, but now as it stands, you play a little bit of music on it, you got a copyright notice, you know.
Mhm.
And I don't have any music on my show here, and yet last time I did my show, they gave me a copyright notice, and they said, "Oh, you're the only one who can see this." And I go to click on it, and it says Errt, and it was like, well, why did you send me the damn message then if it was not right, you know?
An
So I don't
error.
know I do not know who to complain to about that, but when I find out and I get the right legal help, I'm going to go after them.
Yeah.
And
Good luck finding customer service in some of these bigger
that's
companies.
right. You know, like Facebook,
Uh huh.
they're just like in the corner laughing. But I have one guy, one company that would do this on my live drives on my video with my car. And Viral Hog was the company, Viralhog. All right, they claimed rights to the videos of almost anybody that did videos for quite a while, right? Well, every time I did my live drive on my drive to town to Wyndham, and I usually do live drive just because, well, it's a 30-minute drive and there ain't nothing else to do but talk. Cornfields on both sides, you know. Nothing there. So the video is more or less for my comfort, and if I have a guest host and they'll be on watching the chat and everything like that, and I'll be talking to them as a live guest, you know. And anyway, I mentioned the viral hog several times at the beginning of my video. I said, when I find you with the right legal help, then I'm going to own your company and shut you down. First thing I'm going to do is fire you and shut the company down. And finally, I guess somebody got tired of them harassing everybody because I haven't even seen them for quite a while. So, which I'm glad. So finally, maybe somebody got a hold of them. And
Right,
we
yeah,
just
maybe
get
somebody beat you to the punch.
yeah, maybe. If they did, then I'm all for it. Good to go. I don't have to deal with their stupidness. But yeah, I try not to take advantage of anyone's musical abilities or talent or anything like that. If I do play anything except from my private radio station, it's kind of a closed channel. You only go there if you're invited. Or if you know where it's at, then you can show up there and be part of the chat and listen to the music. But that's the only time you're going to hear any music that I play. And what Bob Monroe told me of the Monroes, he sent me a CD that they did. And he said, yeah, you can play it on your station. He even signed a statement saying that. And he said, you're more or less like a college station, a closed-in channel that only those who are invited are going to find it in general. And so he said, more than likely there's nothing to worry about for what you're doing in that sense. And I do
Right.
pay a fee. I do pay a fee to play on Mixler, which is $250 a year. I get it half price. It's normally $500 a year, but I get it for half price. And that's how I pay the usage fee of the music that I play. Okay? And plus, on Amazon Music, I pay $89 a year just to play the music.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's my right to play the music. Okay? I stream it on my radio station. I'm not making any money on that particular music, as far as selling the time for that music. But anyway, now that I wasted 20 minutes of the show, what do you know?
It's okay. So funny, you said we were talking, not to completely take us off the rails here, but you mentioned earlier, because we've gone down so many already.
I'm that way. That's my problem.
That's
I'm
okay.
all over.
It put me in mind of something earlier when you mentioned we were talking about music and yoga classes, and how you can't really own a copyright to yoga, and it's like the holistic, alternative therapy. My entire journey in all of this started with yoga, which was really great. So that's kind of where everything began, and then it expanded from there to energy work and the card readings and everything else. But I always find it really interesting that most people hear about yoga, they think about yoga, they assume they think exercise. And it can be that. It definitely, is good for you physically. You can take some of the, more power yoga or hot yoga classes and get, fit. But that's not really what yoga is about. So I think oftentimes with all of this stuff, we were talking about earlier that we share, all these friends who have these like-minded theories and interests, it seems that we're all just kind of using the same or different verbiage and different words to describe the same things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
and that goes with how we're all connected, I believe.
mm-hmm, yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But I always find it interesting how one little spark of something can begin something else that's so much bigger. And I think people forget, when they think about yoga, they think about going to a yoga class to get fit. They forget that yoga is about so much more. And in the beginning, yoga even started as it had no poses.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a meditation practice. It was for the mind or for the spiritual self. It wasn't until yoga kind of got brought over more to the Western world that we added the actual poses. So.
Okay, now is yoga? Let me see if I got this right now. See if which one I have right on the perception of what I think yoga is.
Yeah.
Yoga is a connection with self to either planet Earth or the universe. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we
Basically,
have Bobby
yoga.
and Charles.
Oh, yeah, I saw some people comment. Yeah, basically yoga translates to mean yoke. So it's a coming together of, melding either mind, body, and spirit, connection to the earth, connection to source, that, yeah. So all of that, energy that surrounds us all the time, yoga taps into that.
Okay, so it's a little bit. I've used meditation. I don't practice it as often. I should do more meditation. I do listen to some of the energy sounds on YouTube. The frequency
Yep.
healing for the chakras and things like that. So I work on
Right.
those. Um, Meditation is kind of like the low end of, say, like if you go in full tilt on the yoga, the meditation is kind of like the bottom part of that, or is it all
Actually,
three?
it's the other way around, I think.
Oh,
Now, I'm
okay,
sure, everybody has their own opinions. I never
okay,
want to, trample on anyone else's
right,
thoughts on
yeah,
what that is. But no, I mean, yoga is much more about tuning the mind than it is the body. Now,
okay,
you want to connect the mind and body with the yoga practice by adding those poses, adding the movement.
oh yeah, okay.
But the mind connection, the spiritual connection is where it starts, and then you add in the physical.
And then can you see what Charles wrote?
I can see. Let's see. The Hindus claim that there are such. Yes. So
Okay,
the yogis of old, yes, the yogis of old, would use their bodies in ways to attain like higher knowledge. But
mm-hmm.
in the very, very beginning, thousands and thousands of years ago, yoga started with just the spiritual or the mental practice. Then they added the poses, and then of course we added a whole lot more and made it all about sweating and losing weight.
Yeah.
uh,
Now, do you find that doing yoga in the studio is as helpful as doing it, say, like in a park setting in nature, or is it more helpful in nature?
um, I think, I mean, I love doing yoga outside. I think actually being able to connect to the earth physically
Yeah.
is a great help for a lot of people. But now when I teach a class, I tell them to visualize that anyway. So, you're always, when I talk about like grounding down, we're you don't necessarily have to be in connection with the earth for that to happen. It's not always going to be nice enough to go outside and put your feet in the grass to
Right.
do yoga.
I'm in winter right now.
Yeah, exactly. So right now would not be where I am is not it would not be a great time to go outside
Yeah.
and do yoga. At least not for very long. It's really cold.
Yeah.
Um, so in that instance, I mean, you can still have that same connection just by kind of visualizing it as you're moving, as you're breathing. The
Okay.
breath is really essential in yoga. That's what kind of ties you in, brings you focus, holds you in poses longer if that's what you're looking for, kind of trains the mind. So
Now,
as long as you're, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was going to say, on a physical sense, I couldn't do some of the poses. I'd be stuck in some of the.
Well, it's the reason I fell in love with yoga, and what my favorite thing about it is the fact that yoga can be for anyone. I use quotes a lot in my class, Buddhist quotes, Tibetan quotes, just not, wisdom, knowledge. I like to share that with my students. But one of my favorites is that yoga is not about touching your toes. It's what you learn on the way down.
Oh, okay.
So, people come to me all the time, clients come to me saying, "Oh, I'm not very flexible. I can't do yoga. I'm not in great shape. I really can't come to a group class." Um, Yoga can be accessible to every person, any age, any body type, any physical, no matter what your physical activity is now, there is a way to make yoga accessible to every person.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so
I
I
like
love
that.
that.
So it's more of a uh, mental, spiritual, and then later the physical part connection. But
Hmm.
more or less, the first part of it would be the mental and spiritual connection. Correct?
Right. Well, and a lot of people come into a class and they are connected more to that physical in the beginning just because that's what they expect, that's what they're
Yeah,
used to. So they're kind of coming into it and learning the spiritual or mental, but that's the goal. Yeah, is to kind of
I like that.
to fuse all three together.
I like that. Yeah, that's interesting. Now you were gonna read a card for me when
I
we run out of
am.
time, and then
Yeah.
and we can check with chat. Chat, would
Okay.
anybody like any card readings? And Jessica has volunteered to take some
Yes.
time and share her card reading gifts with us. If anyone's interested in a card reading, either on Facebook or YouTube. Of course, I don't see Facebook, so anybody monitoring Facebook, let them know they can come over here to live chat and be part of the YouTube chat. And make sure that you guys are watching that chat, that triple X advertisement doesn't show up. For some reason, I'm so popular now, they've been spamming my channel. I find that kind of funny. I guess I have enough people watching now. All right, yeah. Go ahead and take care of my card first, and if you can,
Okay.
take a picture of it and send it to the
I
messenger
absolutely
group.
will. And if there's anybody else, I don't know how you catalog these, but if I'm able to kind of go back after the show and get people's information, I'm happy to take pictures of anyone's card and send it to them
Or
later.
you can send it to me, and I can send it to them. Everyone in chat is
Perfect.
on my
Yep.
messenger, so
Yep.
I'll play the middleman if needed,
Okay.
and of course they can request your friendship later if they want. You can see their
Sure.
names and they can connect with you later, and she's open for communication and friendship. I'm sure.
Absolutely. Especially like I said, of those like-minded individuals, just like the ones you and I know so well.
Oh yeah, and everyone that comes into my chat, well, I'd say most everyone that comes into the chat, they're here because they want to learn what our guests are talking about. So yeah, go ahead with
Okay.
my card reading.
Well, but I just want to give credit where credit is due, because these are obviously not personal cards.
Yeah.
Although my very artistically talented aunt and I are working on an oracle deck of our own, so
Oh,
stay
good.
tuned for that. Yeah,
I'd
but
love to get a deck when you get done.
yeah, but
Autographed
to
even.
oh, sure, yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm in the big time then.
There you go.
I don't think anybody's ever asked me for my autograph.
There you go. Well, I'm being the first, so
Okay,
now you watch how many people are gonna follow what I'm saying. All right.
awesome.
So
But tonight I'm using a deck. So I got this deck on Etsy.
okay.
It's called the Enchanted. Ooh, I got a wrong way.
There you go.
Enchanted Art Oracle cards by Mimi Pettibone. They
Okay.
are absolutely gorgeous. Um, Beautiful, beautiful representations of famous art pieces. I love this deck because the messages are usually very positive. I always consider myself, whether it's my yoga or my oracle readings, the Reiki work that I do. I think it all just kind of comes under that umbrella of light worker.
Yep. And I was
These
gonna say
cards,
yep. I was
uh,
just gonna say it all works together.
yeah, pretty much. Yes, exactly. It's all on that same wavelength. And So these cards, I really think are just they tend to give very good light messages.
Okay.
Not that they would ever skew a reading, but I think they're very positive and supportive messages from the cards. So
Okay.
all right, let's draw you one here.
I'm going to send Charles the link so he can join us in the studio. Charles has his own show called Survivor Circle. He
Okay.
moved over to his own YouTube channel, which hopefully he'll come back here soon. But he does air the audio portion on Mixler anyway. So, but we kind of he created that show and himself, but um, we kind of both had the same vision for that show, which was to give people an option to try to find out the way that they can get help. If they have health issues or whatever, try to connect them with the right people that they need to talk to. Which most people, when they get sick, they don't know where to turn, and nobody's out trying to reach them. They're just sitting
Sure.
there suffering, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now with my situation. That's a whole other thing. But I'm waiting on Medicare to get the answer done, you know. And when you wait for big government to get it corrected, it could take forever.
You might wait a
But
while. Yeah.
yeah, but uh, so part of the show that Charles had created it was to help answer some of those questions and maybe direct people to the right place or connect people with different places, you know, so they can get help. And I thought it was a really great thing to create that show and that platform for that. And he hasn't been doing much of that on that way of thinking, but we're still going towards that direction. He's still going in that direction. It's just a matter of getting back on even ground after everything happening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Got your card.
Okay, hold
I'm going to
on.
show it to you.
Okay.
And
Now
then the
what is
message.
that?
So it is a moon, and it's got two. Yeah, it's got a couple. It looks like a dancing couple. Yeah. He's in the tux. She's in like one of those flowy gowns. Night sky. And the
That's
message on the
interesting.
bottom
Okay.
is allow yourself to connect with what you are passionate about. Now, I always
Wow.
tell people when I read with these cards, the messages are a lot of times very literal. They can be pretty literal in what they're saying, but not always. Um, there can be other interpretations from that. But honestly, what I'm getting from the card for you um, is pretty close to the literal. Now, sometimes when I pull this card, there can be a romantic feel to it. Um, and that's not really what I'm getting here for you.
Right.
For you, this is kind of saying more to me, a little bit like what we were talking about a few minutes ago, connections, just, allowing yourself to be in those connections, to be the good communicator, to share
Yep.
the things that you are passionate about, the things, that you like, that you enjoy with a community of other people like yourself.
That's
Um,
interesting. I like that.
hmm
Interesting thing. You should pull a moon card because remember Tanya's reading for me last night.
Did it also have a moon card?
Yes.
Very nice.
Now on
So
her
there could
deck,
be a.
yeah, on her deck it might have meant a little bit something different, but maybe
hmm
some of the same thing. Go back and look at that from her show,
Oh yeah, I'll have
from
to
Joey's
look.
show last night. And what I found interesting was we have a connection in the same number, and I did
Yeah, we
not
did.
know
We have the
that.
same birthday day.
There
Uh
you go.
huh.
A couple of years difference, but the same date. And the interesting thing is, my pharmacist, a young, she just turned 18, I think, but same day as mine, same birthday, and it was like, how is that even possible? You know. And I had a good friend in high school who was 2 days in front of me as far as the birthday. So this was on the 19th, same year. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I even ran into him. We became good friends. So,
I don't know
but
that I've ever met anyone that had the exact same birthday as me.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean, I'm sure there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, but yeah.
oh yeah, just a matter of. I mean, I'm gonna be 62 next year, and it's like I'm just now finding some people with the same birthday, even if it's a different year. It doesn't make any difference. It's the same day,
Same
you know,
day. Yeah.
and that's just kind of odd that that would happen. Let me add Charles to the conversation here. You'll get to meet Charles. Look at that. There's Charles.
Jessica, welcome to the KGRA family.
No, Errt
Thank you very
Radio.
much.
Oh,
Errt Radio.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wrong place. I'm thinking about where I've got to go over there later. Uh,
He's a host over there too.
no, not
Well,
yet,
well, you
or even
moderate.
ever probably.
You moderate.
I'm a total amateur. I just do this because I love it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
It's
this is my first time, so yeah, I'm a huge rookie. Now I
Well,
do
we'll
some
get you
live.
trained in.
What's that?
We'll get you trained in.
Now I do like If anybody's so on Monday nights, I do go live on my Facebook page and do a guided meditation.
Uh-huh.
But that's about it. So that's my experience in the live world, or I've never been on a show, so
Okay,
pretty
well,
excited.
I'm glad that you are here and you're on my show and you made it the first one. So thank you for that, and I would encourage you to do more because I think you have a talent for it, and as we
Thank
get
you.
used to it, and we can learn what we need to ask and what we need to share and everything like that, it'll go much more smoother. Not that this is going bad. I'm just saying that when we get to know a little bit more about each other, we can kind of have a more clear cut conversation. Now, Charles, would you mind if Bobby got his reading next?
Well, no, that's fine.
All right,
I can't. As I
let
said, I can't stay for for when the first time in a long time. I can't stay. I've got to.
oh no. All
Yes.
right, well,
No.
well,
See, I had it mixed up when I talked to you last. Renee Barnett's show
yeah.
wasn't last night. It was tonight.
Oh, that's why I didn't see it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You
I
and
was
me
looking
too.
for it.
You and
I,
me too.
yeah, I was looking
I
for
said,
it, and I
how,
said,
how
"Where is
did I
that show at?"
how did I do that? Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
it's the old timers syndrome.
uh,
Oh
yeah,
boy.
I've been busy,
Well, then
and
I tell you what.
I promise I will laugh at you next week when you're putting your new computer together,
Right?
and
Yeah. I
you forget what day it is.
I'm just waiting on my monitor to get here. It's on the
I
way.
know you're dying of
Yeah.
anxiety there.
And I got my keyboard and mouse and my headphones today,
Oh
so I'm
heck
good
yeah,
to go
you're
on
ready.
that. Brand new. And the monitor, for some reason, it said Friday or Monday, and so I'm guessing it's going to be Monday. But anyway, it'll
Okay,
get here, and I ain't worried about it. It'll get here. And Bill suggested I should get a TV, though, a 24-inch TV, because then
that's what I told you.
yeah, I'll get one. They're not that expensive. I can have two screens, right? I can have use
Oh,
two
absolutely.
screens.
I think that's set up to take
Four. It has
possibly
like four
four.
connections.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, Charles got me connected with this computer guy that was parting out his business or whatever, right, Charles, something like that.
Yes.
And he got me connected with this guy that built a brand new computer. The video card is like a small car. I don't know what this thing is. It's amazing though. It's
Ron, someday I will tell you what he actually paid for those video cards when he bought them,
oh yeah, okay,
and you will just be blown away.
yeah. But I mean, it's amazing.
It was equivalent to a small card.
But what I have been getting in, except for my laptop here that I bought brand new, everything else has been like warehouse computers.
Mhm.
Last year's model that nobody wanted, and I buy it. And those only last so long. You know what I'm saying? This is a brand new laptop though that I bought here from Samsung, but other than that, I haven't had a new computer, especially a desktop. Desktops I've always bought like the $200 model that's going to last maybe a year, and break down, and not very quality at all. But it got me through the tough times that I didn't have a computer though. So, but now I have a nice one. It's top of the line, new technology, new hard drive, the M.2 version of the SSD, and yeah, I'm ready to give it a go when I get that monitor. I'm just
Okay,
waiting.
Ron, back to business. Come on now.
All right, yeah, back to business. Yeah, so okay. You want to go first, or you want Bobby to go first?
I'll go first.
All
Sure.
right, go ahead and read Charles first. I'm sorry, but
Okay,
I done derailed you 3 times. Now we gotta get a new engine.
that's okay. Although I was gonna say, if you're asking me to join in on technical conversations about computers,
Not the right.
I'm done. I'm
Oh,
done.
No.
yes. I could somehow. I think I saw your eyes beginning to glaze over. I think, shut up, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to log on to my little laptop and turn my lights on. That's about it.
Hit the button and pray.
Yes.
Make
I
sure
always say,
make sure you don't have too much energy in those hands when you touch the keyboard.
I always
Oh
say
yeah.
technology is great when it works well.
Yes.
If
Yes.
it doesn't, then
Absolutely.
that's it. I'm lost. All right. Cards.
And Charles will run over to a show where he has the right day now.
All right. So
You'll never
your
let me forget that now.
cards. So the image on your card, cute little mermaid. Love her. She looks like she's contemplating big questions for the
Mhm.
world. Yeah. So don't push the river, let it flow.
Ooh.
So a lot of the time when I get this card, when this card's pulled, it can mean one of two things. It can either mean that you've had a lot on your plate, a lot of things kind of in the pot already that you've been juggling around. And this card is kind of urging you to slow down, kind of put those things in perspective, put them in priority. Um, allow things to happen more organically than kind of pressing or pushing it. Um, the other meaning that I get a lot of the time is that there could be something new coming along or something that you've been anticipating for a while, maybe not something completely new for you, but maybe something coming up on the horizon that you've been contemplating or that has been a possibility. Maybe I feel like maybe even something that you would like to see happen. Um, and this card would give a message of let it come to you. Don't try to push so hard or force it. That won't be necessary. It'll come to you without having to force the issue. So
Very
hopefully
cool.
one of those work for you. Yeah.
Actually, both of those uh, tips were in the reading I had yesterday
Very
when I was
nice.
Tanya and oh gosh.
Lord.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
and
So,
and
oh,
and
that's funny.
I was I was I was not I was not surprised by any of the things that you told me
Sure.
because it really resonated with me with things that are in the recent past and the direction I'm hoping things are going to go. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I feel like I'm in a good place, mentally new good place, and it's going to be a wonderful year. Of
I
course,
think
I
so
said
too.
of course I said that in 21,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Well, it's all about
hey,
perspective.
sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to,
This is
and
true,
Right.
but
that's
it's all
okay.
about
That's
it's okay. It's all perspective.
sure. I think that's a part of part of the process. You
It
know,
is. Yep.
you cannot appreciate the good things until you've had a little rough weather, and then you come in and you're ready to go.
Well, and usually I always tell clients when they get a message from a card that they don't particularly like,
Mm,
not to forget, not to forget that
yes.
even the harsh and hard and lessons eventually form us into who we are going and supposed to be.
Hmm. Yes.
So,
Yes. Absolutely. I absolutely go with that.
Yeah, and what I found
It's,
to be interesting, not to derail us again, it's actually on topic. Um, I I found that when I read the regular tarot cards, like I have the actual right Rider Waite cards. Okay,
mm-hmm.
these
Yeah.
these are really good. These I've gotten so used to, and it seems like I turn around and somebody's either getting me a deck of cards or I'm buying a new card deck myself. I find one that I like what it looks like. But what I found on those is that the message isn't always the total message for the person itself. If that makes any sense. So, like for instance, it might have 4 lines in a message, but only one of those lines might apply to you. Okay, or maybe only the first line might apply to you, if you know what I mean. If that makes any sense at all.
I often get, especially if I'm reading for multiple people in a day, if I have different session, one session out right after the other, I
Yeah.
will a lot of the time get repeat cards.
Yeah.
That's usually a sign to me that there's a bigger universal message at play. So not just a message for that person, but a message for the collective,
Everyone.
like all of us as
Yeah.
a whole. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had that happen too, where I keep getting the same card and I want to shuffle it, and then the Oofy always tells me. Oofy is a common person that always hangs out with us usually, and then she'll say, "No, no, show the card you got," even though it's just the one that I just had. Even after I shuffled 5 times, and then I wind up with the same card again. Like, what is this telling me? You know. And
That,
at
yeah,
first I get
that's,
frustrated, but then what you're telling me is that maybe there's a greater message that somebody needs. You know. And an Oofy is saying, don't don't bypass that card. That's an important message that somebody
That's right.
needs, and she makes a lot
yep.
of sense.
Don't
Yep.
hog the card, John.
That's right.
You
That's
can't
right.
stack
Well,
the deck. You can't
that's
stack the
That's
right.
deck.
right. That's
No,
That's
right.
a,
I don't. But I got a few decks, but yeah, I got a couple of Oracle decks I use and things like that. And one I have that Esther gave me 2 decks. She's in chat there, and she gave 2 decks to me. And the one is so darn shiny you can't even see it on the camera. It's too darn shiny. It's just all glossy and shiny and everything like that. I like it, but I can't really see it enough to really enjoy it. So
I think I
I
have
think,
lost count at this point how many decks I have.
yeah, and I'm
It's
always
becoming a little
willing,
bit of a
yeah,
problem.
yeah. But I think that when you see one sitting there on the shelf and think, oh, I haven't used that one for a while, you know,
Hmm.
and then you grab it and all of a sudden you're connected with it, and then you got to
Hmm.
do a reading for somebody. Let's go ahead and get Bobby next, if
Well,
that's all right.
let
And
Okay.
me, I need
Carl,
to check out,
all
and
right.
thank you all very much. You don't know how much you've helped me
And
today.
when are you gonna be? When are you gonna be on the show? At 1 a.m.
Uh, yes. No. Wait.
or 12?
No. Midnight. At midnight.
Oh, midnight. Okay. Well,
Just after midnight.
all right. Well, I'll try to be done by then. I'll try to get over there and
Well,
watch it.
don't rush things. That's not your that's not your thing, Ron.
Yeah,
We
but
we take when we're on Earth, we run just as long as we need.
all right, all right. Well, you
Okay.
go have fun and talk to Renee and tell her I said hi. All
I
right,
it'll be nice to talk to her on the air.
all right.
Absolutely.
Talk to you later.
You,
Bye.
bye bye.
All right. So now Bobby's turn, and
I'm
Bobby has
shuff.
his own show. Bobby has a show on Thursday night. He has a show called Space Wave. And
Oh,
I usually play the audio portion of it for him, but he finds it and then he sends it to me and then I play it. But 163 episodes that he's done, and that
That's great.
163 episodes. That's amazing. 52 is a year. So
Well,
163.
then the card that I just pulled is very appropriate.
Oh, good.
So, the message on the bottom, your talents and gifts are calling you. So, definitely an affirmation or a confirmation that the things that you're doing um, are right for you, which is obviously the case when you've done that many shows. You must enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um, just trying to take a look here, see if there's anything else. Little deeper in the meaning of the card here. So the actual art piece, the person, the woman featured, seems to be kind of pondering something, thinking, looks very, contemplative. And what I am getting from it a lot is if there is something else, some expansion of what you're already doing that you've been thinking about, contemplating, um, something on the horizon that you just weren't sure about, maybe that's come around already. If not,
Yeah.
I would say that it will be soon. but there may be another talent or a gift that you have been holding back from using. I think this card is telling you it's time to go for it.
And I can tell you, and if you take a picture of those cards, for mine and Charles and Bobby's, and just label which one it is, and then send it just in the messenger, that'd be great. One at a time, I guess, when we get done.
Okay.
But Bobby, his screen name here on the YouTube channel here, he does shortwave radio
Oh, okay.
listening, and he does gaming. He does some gaming as well, and so that's kind of his thing that he likes to do, and so that's how he's going to be expanding on some of that kind of stuff, I think.
I think he was
Because
asking to see the card again, so I wanted to give it up there.
okay, yeah. And then Esther, would you like to have a reading? And I was asking her in Messenger chat if she wanted a reading from you. She knows who you are. You might know Esther, all things UFO, or Astrology is her Facebook page.
That's cute.
But I hope she said yes.
Well, I'll wait. I won't pull until we're sure.
Oh, she said sure. Yep, she said sure.
Okay.
I can hardly read the screen with these glasses. I need some new ones.
Well, I noticed I can see all of the comments, but I have to switch over to see them. And when I do that, you and I are kind of like in the background.
Oh, no.
I can still see us, but not really well. That's probably, again, we're back to my technical difficulties with technology here.
We'll work on them. We'll get them.
All right.
We'll get it figured out. We'll get you used to doing some of these shows, too, and I'd be more than happy if this was your first one and you enjoy it so much and you want to keep doing it and you want to do a regular show here, or if you, of course, if you want to go around and share your gifts with everyone else, I'd be happy to see that, too, obviously. And, but the thing is, get comfortable with, for you, get comfortable with what you're doing, which I think you are. And, so that's the main thing, be happy with it and roll.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
roll
yeah.
with it.
I love working with people. I love readings. I love yoga, Reiki. Yeah. It's definitely been a huge I said I consider myself a light worker. I think, giving the light to the others brings it back just as much to me, which is
Yep.
great.
All right.
All right, Esther, your card. Beautiful little bouquet of roses and other flowers here. The message: it's okay to have needs and to fulfill them. So again, with these cards, the message can be very literal sometimes, or there can be a deeper meaning or a kind of an expansion on that. What I'm getting for you here. So I get this card a lot with other light workers. I get this card a lot with caregivers, mothers, people in the medical profession. So anyone who is giving a lot of themselves to other people. And usually, this is a message or a reminder that even though we're kind of giving forward, that's a great task to have. But don't forget yourself in the process. We need to take care of ourselves just as much as we take care of others. Yeah, that's pretty much the message I'm getting here.
I like that. And what's interesting is that when you're doing these readings for the people that I know, and I kind of know a little bit about them and what they're about, and then when you pull the card and it's like, wait a minute, that's exactly them.
Well, that's good.
And they might not see it because they're looking at it from like you said, their perspective. But when I'm looking at it from the outside, looking at who they are, knowing who they are, and it fits. It's perfect.
Yeah. I always tell clients when I do readings, if the message seems completely off, I mean, it could be. There's always a chance, that signals get crossed. Um, but a lot of the time, I will say, just take the message with you for now. If it's not resonating at the moment, that's okay. Kind of put it in the back of your mind. Think about it. If you have a meditation practice, maybe meditate about on it. Um, if you journaling about it's really great. And eventually, usually from that, you're going to suss out the meaning, where it came from.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
see that's one thing I got to work on myself personally. Is I got to work on journaling mainly. I believe that all of us, every single one of us. I'm going to go off the rail a little bit with what we've been doing here. I don't think anyone else was here for reading. So, but I take a trip nightly. I go somewhere nightly. You know what I mean?
Physically or astral?
Astral
Uh-huh.
projection somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, now some of the times I remember it. Most of the time I wake up like I've been through hell, like either digging a ditch or a grave or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why I'm so sore. Like I've been digging something or running a marathon or rowing a boat or something like that. And um, anyway, what happened was this one time I went to this planet, and I talked about this before, and it's still in my mind, and I still remember it. And this is a amethyst crystal planet. Now imagine how beautiful that would look.
That would be
All right,
amazing.
and the points of the amethyst crystal are shooting out of the surface of the planet. All right, and we're walking around on this planet with my guide or guides, and there were two people in the same place that I recognized. Now, recently, in the last 10 years, I've had the memory issues with names. Okay, I'll see somebody, I'll know them, I'll say hi to them, I'll smile, and then I'll walk away and say, who the hell was that? You know?
Right.
And this is in real life now. Now, in this vision or in this trip, I remembered these people, but I could not remember their name, but I knew them. Okay? So I was not afraid of being there at that place. And then my guide told me to touch one of the crystals that were coming out of the ground. Of course, it meant energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I grabbed a hold of that amethyst crystal and I felt a warmth and an energy connected directly to the planet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now the planet had two suns. Now imagine what that would look like. Two suns shining through the planet in both directions, on both sides of the planet. If that makes any sense at all. But anyway, this is how I visioned it. All right. Now, when I have these trips, I actually feel as if I'm there. I
Mm-hmm.
feel as if I'm holding on to, say, like if I have my cell phone with me in the vision, I have my cell phone in my hand with me. I know I'm holding on to the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm grabbing a door handle. I know I have a glass. If I'm drinking something, I know that I'm drinking something when I'm there. All right, there has been several trips like that where I've been I know that I've been there physically because I've actually felt things and felt cold, felt hot, felt the water, whatever the situation is. I'm there physically as well. Now, what that is, I have no clue. But other people have experienced it, but they're not talking about it. But I'm talking about it.
So, funny, you and I talked about how we have both worked with Tanya for some of
Yep.
her spiritual life coaching.
Yeah.
Astral projection is something that she and I worked on quite a bit. I have a bit of a natural ability to do it. So she and I were working together on honing that.
Yeah.
It is still a work in progress.
Yeah. I think that
uh,
is something that we can all work on a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. But it is a very it's really interesting concept and a fun avenue to explore. But yeah, if
And
you're not journaling about your adventures, I would highly suggest that you start.
the hardest part, though, with my writing issue I guess I can use the computer and type it,
Oh
like
yeah,
I
doesn't
said.
have to be a written journal.
And because handwriting, I couldn't read my own writing the next day, and I'd be like, "What did I write down there?" You know. And I would remember it, but then I would try to figure out what I wrote.
Or I'll tell you something I suggested to a client a couple of weeks ago. They're not much, they don't really like to journal at all. They don't like to write.
That's kind of work.
Typing's not a big thing.
That's kind
Yeah.
of my problem. Yeah.
Dictation.
Ah.
You can either
Okay.
buy one of the little recorders, and just talk into, or, there are apps that you can get for your phone and just dictate your thoughts down,
Yeah.
or, yeah.
That's a good idea. Because a lot of times, the medication I take to go to sleep at night, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have any activity in the brain or dreams because
Mm-hmm.
my ADHD, the brain is always active, and I end up
Mm-hmm.
staying awake all night trying to fix something. Like if I have a computer issue, like we were just talking about putting my new computer, setting it up and everything like that. Well, before when I'd build my computers myself, then I'd have dreams about it. I'd be trying to fix my computer at night. You know what I'm saying? When I'm trying to sleep,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and I had to shut that off. So the medication I take is for that. And but recently, I've been having more activity as if messages or some activity from outside is interfering with my thought. You know what I mean?
Trying to push their way
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it in a invasive way or
Mm-hmm.
uh, evil or bad way. I'm saying someone's trying to get a message to me
The
somehow.
message is that important. Yeah.
Yeah, and why I'm traveling to places I don't know about. Like I went to a hotel in Chicago. Now I've driven past Chicago downtown. I didn't stop at no hotel. I only stopped once to get gas, and I was scared to death when I did that. But not really scared to death. But you know what I'm saying. Just not a place you want to stop and hang out. Chicago is not that place for that. Uh, or any big city for that matter. But I got the gas, got back on the highway, and I got out of there quick. But anyway, I was in this hotel in Chicago. And again, that was the same thing. I could feel
Mm-hmm.
everything I was doing. I knew I was there. I could see
Mm-hmm.
people in the dream. They could see me. I
Mm-hmm.
could sense they're upset about something and they hate me because, I don't know, whatever reason why they hate me. But anyway, um, I could just tell, that I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel the emotion inside the dream, which is weird. And then when I had a meeting with my caseworker at the county for the medical and stuff, and it was like this woman was coming out of the office, and she looked at me like she was so mad and upset at me for I don't know who she was, but she looked familiar, like she was part of the dream that I just.
She was there.
And so I don't know what that was all about, but I know I didn't do anything to cause anyone to be upset at me like that, but just
Sure.
in general, I guess. But yeah, that's just kind of weird. Um,
Yeah.
so I need to kind of document some of those trips
Mm-hmm.
and things that I do, or places I go, or if I remember anything in the morning, I just need to
You're
write
right.
it down.
Yeah.
And
Well, and a lot of times just in the act alone of repeating it, writing it
yeah,
down, or like I said, dictation, typing, whatever you're going to do, just the act of repeating it and going over it again in your mind, you see new things or remember things you didn't realize
yeah,
happened.
yeah. All right. Well, what else you got going on? You got places where they can connect with you. You got
Yeah, sure. So
email or
this
Facebook.
I do, yeah. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Stardust Yoga and Spirit. So since all of this started with yoga and it's still a big part of my life, that kind of deserved to be part of the title. So Stardust Yoga and Spirit, like I said, on Facebook and Instagram. Um, Email is stardustyogawv, all one word, at gmail.com. The WV stands for West Virginia. That's where I'm located. Um, they can email me. They can direct message me on either one of those platforms. I do a live guided meditation on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Facebook page. So please, if you are interested, join in. Really love sharing meditation practices with people. I do card readings, tarot readings, I'm a Reiki master, so I do Reiki with a lot of clients. Yeah.
On the card readings, if we wanted to have a regular visit with you, do you have anything set up for that?
I do.
Like,
Yeah. I've got a couple of clients that I work with on a pretty regular basis. So,
okay.
yeah, we would just kind of chat on what you had in mind, what you were looking for, and we could go from there.
Oh, there you
I'll be
go.
honest, I usually try to keep my stuff pretty accessible. One of the things, I mean, a lot of the times when you look into some of these holistic and alternative therapies, of course, insurances are not going to pay for them, even though I think that's a mistake. You can't get insurance to go to a yoga class, but
That might change. That might change,
that
though.
might change soon, hopefully,
Okay.
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But I
So,
try not to make anything too financially prohibitive for people. I want to be able to kind of offer these services and make it accessible to everyone. So,
yeah. And I like that idea because we need to come together as a people, as human beings. We need to work together for the greater good. And I know that for a fact there's going to be someone who's not going to agree with it, and they're going to
well,
hate it.
sure.
So I know it. But the thing of it is, we're going to keep going along, and eventually that hater, or the person that wants to argue or question or be the skeptic, then they're going to be like, a couple years down the road, they're going to be thinking, wow, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because I've talked about stuff on my show, and I'll mention this real quick, and I think you wanted to go, or did you want to stay a little bit longer? I enjoyed
Um,
visiting with you.
yeah, it's been great. But now I probably do need to go at some point. I've got a couple young kids in bed,
All right.
and who knows when they'll be up later. So,
That's right. Um, well, I talked about before, and last time I talked about this, I couldn't talk like for 2 days. They got me to shut up, I guess. But anyway, I talked about the UFOs. All right, now
hmm
Esther is part of the research group with Jesse Peak. Jesse Peak is a private UFO and field investigator in Pennsylvania, and she works with him on a thing called Bat Project 404, and that deals with the energy cycles of the UFO or UAP, whatever you want to call it. Okay,
all
has
right.
different names. The craft that would be hovering over a car that might cause a car to stop working, or to cause the missile silos to, disconnect or whatever, you know. And so what I'm what I noticed myself, and just trying to figure out what my feelings are on this, is that my personal experience is that I've had senses about craft being in the sky that I cannot see. Okay, I've only seen one, or maybe two, possibly three things that I cannot explain. But anyway, two that I know for sure that I cannot explain. One, I got a picture of it when I was doing a
Oh,
video, and my friend Andy in the UK, Andrew Morrow, he always helps out with everything. He's on the other side of the pond, and he helps us out here. But he caught that shape that I had in the video. I was doing a walk around the town, and I was doing a live video of the blue sky, and I was looking north, and the north I was looking at was at least a 7 hour or 6 hour drive to a town called Blaine or Fridley, someplace like that, where this thing was over this town, and it was a giant silver ball. Okay. Funny thing was, I reported this to Andy, and Andy, saw it on the video rather, and then I shared it with a few people, and all of a sudden there was this giant silver orb thing that was found in Mexico somewhere. I don't know, that was in the news
oh,
just recently. Same thing that I was seeing, but in the sky. Now,
right.
this thing had to be up cloud level at least 10,000 feet. Okay? It was no mylar balloon at that distance. You couldn't see it at that distance.
hmm
Even a hot air balloon would have been hard to see at that distance.
hmm
Okay? What it was, I don't know what it was, what I've seen. But I believe that there are invisible craft that are in the sky right now that we don't see, but yet we can feel them. Okay? We can feel the energy from the electromagnetic whatever it is they use to fly.
Sure.
Okay. That's my interpretation of what I'm sensing and what I'm feeling. Now I can feel and sense people's energy around me. Okay. I can see their auras without even trying. All right.
Mhm.
And so what's interesting is I have some gifts that I do use, but I use them cautiously.
Mhm.
Okay. And I try not to be invasive. And I use them for my own protection. But I've had these senses about these craft, like when I was driving back from Wyndham, which again, that's a 30-minute drive.
Mhm.
As we're coming back, you got cornfields on both sides of the highway, nothing out there, but yet I can sense these ships that are above me. And I counted at least 6 that I could sense that were right above me.
Wow.
I have not seen them, but I can sense that they're there.
Right.
Now, I've had some issues with some time issues.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
think
Now, I
that's
don't
pretty
like,
common.
yeah, and where I'm at too. Southwest Minnesota, right?
Mhm.
I'm right next to the petroglyphs that are 10,000 years old
Mhm.
for the age of what they are. But first time here, once I got to the house and I got to my bank and I was gonna go to the casino, Jackpot Junction, which is a hour drive from here. But I went to the bank. I was with my friend Mike. I get out of the car. I go into the bank. I talk to the teller, having a good conversation about whatever. Grab my $100 for the casino. I come back out, and I don't remember even going in the bank. All right, I don't remember the
Mhm.
conversation I had with the teller.
Mhm.
I get back to the car, and my friend Mike said, "You got the casino money?" Of course, I looked, and there it was in my pocket. I had it, no problem. I don't know what happened at the time, though. Now, I don't
Mhm.
consider that missing time. All right, would I consider that because I didn't have a time shift or a missing time, as in it didn't change the day or hour or minute or anything. What it did change, a little phrase that I use is called a time differential.
Mhm.
Okay, just a little bit sideways, and then you're looking at something like, wait a minute, what just happened? Right
Didn't really
now,
change the time, changed your perception of it.
right. Now, I've had this problem where I'm driving to Wyndham. Again, it's a 30-minute drive, 2-lane highways. Okay. No place for cars to turn off except for a couple of roads. No driveways. Nothing. Just cornfields and cow fields. Okay. Corn and cows. All right. So, no way for the car to turn off. I got a car that's coming at me on a 2-lane highway. The car never makes it to me. I'm driving along and the car doesn't go past me and it's not there anymore.
Wow.
Where did that car go? Oh, wait. One more. Oofy. Oofy's here. Look at that. Oofy. Think you still got one card reading in there?
Sure.
All right, one more. All right, Oofy, would you like a card reading? Let's see if she says yes. Anyway, so this card just disappears. Gone. Now, I've seen this story on, like, the weird, strange things, weird stuff that's happening,
Oh.
and they had
Mhm.
a cop chase where the car went through the fence, and there was no fence that was broken, but the car was gone. Ghost car, they called it, something like that.
Mhm.
So, in Minnesota, there has been cases reported of that happening. Now, I've had an experience here a couple of times, okay? And she said yes. And so I had this happen a couple of times. I had a truck that was coming up behind me, a pickup truck. And there's no way it could go around me without me seeing it. And there's no place for it to turn off. And yet it just goes away. Gone. I've had a case where I had seen a white horse in the field with a bunch of other horses, but the white horse looked like it was a flat piece of cardboard.
Hmm.
Explain that one. So, so this kind of stuff that happens in this area, I've had my radio signal when I had an AM and FM, when I had an antenna. My antenna fell off the car. I use XM radio now, so it's a little bit different. But the radio station I was using was out of Fairmount, Minnesota, and usually you wouldn't lose a signal, but for some reason I got to this one point, all of a sudden just dead, nothing. You know, it was like, why did that happen right there? And this is where I think the UFOs are right above me because they're jamming the signal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why I feel that, you know, and I think that way.
Makes
So,
sense.
and I don't make this stuff up about the disappearing cars. That actually happened. Again, time differential. Keep that term in mind, and you'll hear it more. And I've
Got
heard
it.
somebody else talk about the invisible UFOs too, after
Mm-hmm.
I've already mentioned it. And then the other phrase I use a lot of times with the eternal life thing, I call eternal existence is the term that I use. I've
Mm-hmm.
heard a couple other people use that. I've been using that phrase for over a year now. Eternal existence. And I don't believe in reincarnation, but I believe in being as a human life force. We were created in the beginning, right about the same time as the angels in the beginning of the creation. Okay? And then the human life force was created. We've been human ever since, but not human form. Okay? Our
Mm-hmm.
spirit, our soul energy has been created from the beginning of all of creation.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we became human, our energy came here to be in the human host or the human body, however you want to say that. And then uh, I've had several lifetimes that I can think of, um, but I don't remember any of them. But I need to maybe look into that. And I've had visions of things that I can't explain. And I
Tanya
believe
does a really great past life regression.
I know, and she did one for Joey, and it was weird when she did Joey's on the air for her
Oh
for
yeah.
her certification class.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing was about that was that I was in his vision at the same time.
Oh wow.
Except I was on the ship that he was trying to. I don't know if he was trying to fight to get on it or fight to stay off of it. I'm not sure which one that was about. But I was one of the. I was the navigation officer on that ship, which I
Nice.
recognized that. So the funny thing was my Navy job, U.S. Navy veteran, and a quartermaster, which is navigation, in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we have our life jobs that we've had our whole life path, whether it be future, past, or whatever. We have the same type of job all the time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so just a thought,
Makes sense.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right, I've
now
got the
now that
card.
we yeah.
So we've got a little angel or fairy. She's got a harp, kind of sitting on this cliff at night. There are stars in the background. And the message is when in doubt, ask for guidance. Again, with these cards, the message can be very literal. Um, what I am kind of getting with this card, it can go either way. So there may be either a decision that is looming right now, something you are kind of grappling with. If not at this very moment, then probably sometime in the very near future. You're either not sure or not going to be sure which way to go. The asking for guidance can go either way. So a lot of times when we think about ask for guidance, we think about asking, source, divine guidance, asking our guides, our angels, whoever it is that you speak to kind of give us that guidance. That can be, what this card is pushing towards, or it can be an inner guidance. So we all kind of have when we're tuning into those energy centers, you and I talked about the chakras and how they kind of
Yep.
tune into different physical parts of the body, different emotional parts of the body. Um, we all have this, we hear here about that gut feeling or go with your heart. So a lot of times our guidance, what we need to do or the decision we need to make is within us. So that I'm getting a little bit of that with this card too. It could be kind of pushing towards asking for guidance from but I feel like it's more of a internal guidance. Either you already will know the answer, or if you think on it long enough, kind of contemplate it, meditate on it, the answer will come from you.
I like that. That is good. Well,
Yeah.
well, we went pretty good, I think, for
Yeah.
two of us just rambling on about nothing. You
Well,
see?
not about nothing,
uh, but
but I
no,
enjoyed my time. Thank you for having me.
okay. I hope that you will want to come back, and
Yeah, sure.
we can explore some ideas that I have, and if you want to check if you have the opportunity or the ability, and you wanted to expand your viewership, or you wanted to expand the opportunity to get your message out there, I'm open for, uh, if we can figure out a time to plug in, put you
Sure.
into it.
Yeah.
Right now, the only day that I have open at this present time is Saturday that I can
Mm-hmm.
think of. And so we can figure out that if Saturday's a good day for you or not, I don't know.
Okay.
Uh, but you can share your if you have a book you're gonna write, or if you have yeah, you said actually you had a book that Joey helped you with, right?
I did. Yeah, I finished my first novel last year.
Yeah.
I have not yet had it published or published it yet. So right now, so funny enough, I who knew that the hardest part of writing a book wouldn't be the actual writing, but the what comes next in that. So yeah, I wrote the book. Joey was an amazing help, an amazing mentor and guide for that during
Yeah.
that whole process. He edited the book for me, which was great because it's so much better because of his editing skills. And yes, so right now I'm shopping agents and publishers. Hopefully that will come to fruition sometime soon. And if it
I
does not, then
yeah.
I might explore some options for self publishing.
Well, I did mention to you to check with Philip Mantle.
Okay,
Okay, do you remember that name?
I
Now
do.
he does. I don't know if he does only UFO research or not. I think he does kind of all kinds of things that he works with. So I mean, at least reach out to him, and you can find his name all over Facebook. Philip Mantle, Mantle is the last name. He's in the UK, but
Okay.
he's a really nice guy to talk to. I've interviewed him twice, I think. So,
Okay.
and I've met him through Calvin Parker, who was a UFO experiencer from Pascagoula,
Okay.
Mississippi. Ufi wanted you to pick a number from 1 through 78. She's gonna do a reading for you.
33.
There you go. And then I'll let you go.
Okay. And I will take pictures of the cards. As we've been talking, I was pulling out the cards everyone drew this evening. I'll take pictures and send them to you.
Oh, thank you. Yep, just send them right to the messenger, and I can share them with everybody I know.
I
So,
can do that.
but yeah, so I think if we, collaboration, as I mentioned to you on the private chat before, is that I believe we are a community, not a
Hmm.
competition. Okay, and so if we are a community and we all work together for the greater good or the greater outcome of our message, which is to know, to get people to know and to understand what's going on.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And here is, oh, she said no reading. Number 33, no reading here. We'll send it to Facebook PM if she has one. Okay.
Oh, private. Yes, she can. So she can message me either. So, uh, and I think it's up on the screen. I put my stuff. So I have both a personal page, which is just my name, or my business page, Stardust Yoga and Spirit. She should be able to private message me on either one.
Yeah, just, look for her. She's a writer as well. So that might be what she's talking about. So, but she's
Yeah.
not. That's what that means.
So
Uphill.
no UFOs in the first book anyway, but there are witches.
Oh, there you go.
So
And then well, see now you would have gotten along with Maureen. So
yeah, I
uh,
caught just a few minutes of the show last night.
yeah, and Maureen is a witch, and she claims that. Anyway, she proclaims that. And so I'm not sharing any private things. She goes to festivals and she does some tarot card readings and she does
Mm-hmm.
different things. And she helps people with different, she's also a Reiki
Mm-hmm.
master as well and different things. And whatever else she does. She does a lot of things. I don't know. But she had a festival she was involved in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah.
And she also does weddings, believe it or not. She's a
Oh,
minister. So she does weddings as well. So
I
she
have a
does all
friend.
kinds of stuff.
I have a friend, an old college roommate who does weddings.
Yeah.
And if you
So
knew her, it fits her personality perfectly.
yeah, and then for some reason, Maureen and I we connected, and it's like we've been missing each other some reason in the path of life, but we've known each other forever. If that makes
Mm-hmm.
any sense. Like you and I, we get along just fine, I think.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah, and you'll find that with most everybody that comes to my channel and hangs out with us on the Facebook page and everything like that. And you'll be surprised that we'll all have the same thought at the same time, or we'll be, you know, whatever. It'll be interesting.
That's
But
that
there's one
tricky
other,
universe coming through again.
there's another place I want you to check out that you need to. It's a chat room from Rumble. I don't know if you do Rumble or not. But if you go to my website, which I told you about, ertradio.com, and
Mm-hmm.
click on the chat room tab,
Okay.
it'll take you to another page, but you might need to sign up, which you just have to sign up with your email, no big deal. But that's a fun chat place where we usually gather when we do music a lot, and we'll just sit there and hang out and have fun talking about the world, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And again, nothing too serious. We just have fun. There might be some crazy memes that are posted or whatever. But like today we did Fridays we do music with a theme. I told you there's that link up there on top with the fox.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Amanda Kieran, she's in Canada, and she's been doing the music with the theme for over 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Every Friday, over 6 years. Now imagine how many Fridays that is that she's been doing that. Now she's a producer in her own right of other shows and other radio stations. But we connected. I got to meet Amanda once in real life, and she's a wonderful person. But with the music with the team, though, she puts together a show usually. Now we have some other people that help out on some of it, but most of the time she doesn't. Puts it together and sends it to me, and I play it. And it's usually 2 hours. So if you click on that box, so you'll see some playlists that are on there. Some of them are over 5 hours. So,
It's a long
but
time.
you don't have to listen to the whole thing. But if you wanted some driving music or you wanted something to listen to for a long time, doing that for about flip on the sides,
It's
just
there.
click on the website and let it roll. You know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, well, thank you for letting me ramble on a little bit more.
That's okay. Thanks for having me again. Really
Yeah,
happy
you're welcome.
to be here. It was a lot of
And
fun.
you're always welcome. Now you are considered, if we call people that become part of our family, you're considered an Ertling.
Oh, nice. I like that. Okay.
E
All right,
R
is
R
there a
T.
T-shirt?
Not yet. Well, I
Okay.
have a T-shirt with my logo on it with the
Nice.
Ert
Nice.
Radio logo, and I can send you one of those if you want one of those. I got it 1X or 2X. I can't remember. See, I get it big because I wear undershirts with it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Sure.
winter time, of course, so you got a layer, right?
Oh
So,
yeah.
but anyway, yeah, this was fun, and you're just so comfortable to talk with and visit with and just have fun. Uh,
Well, thank you.
never have to worry about saying something bad, and of course maybe you'll correct me later. But you're kind right now on here. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
but yeah, and you're always welcome to come back. And anytime that we're on the air, Thursday or Friday and we're doing a show and you want to pop in or you want a link to join the show, let me know.
Okay.
And we'll get you on and we'll have you as a guest or whatever, part of the
Okay.
panel, and you just
Great.
share what you want to share. And if on the Errt Radio shows page, I notice you signed up over there, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you can share if you have any events coming up or anything that you're doing.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to share what you have going on in your world, and you can even
Great.
share your business if you want to share your business.
Okay.
I think that's okay as long as I give you the okay to do that, which I am.
Well, much
And so,
appreciated.
and just give you another avenue to get your word out there. And I have 158 followers on the Errt Radio Show's Facebook page. My normal page with my name, I have over 2.1 thousand followers. So there you go. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people I happen to know. On the Mixlr channel, I have 87,700, I think it was 82 total listens. So it's getting close to 88,000 almost. Those are people that tuned into the show at some point and listened to it through the Mixlr app or through the TuneIn app, either one. But yeah, that's pretty amazing when you think about that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
So
connections.
we can help get your word out there, and if you want to be, obviously on a regular show, if you have time, or you want to try to set something up with that, we can work on that.
I
And
will think about that and let you know.
yeah, and now there's no pay involved. The only pay is going to be a thank you.
Yeah, I got it.
The thank you and the point that you get your message out there and you get to share
Yep.
your gift with people that are so hungry for this kind of stuff because of
Mm-hmm.
everything we've been through. And so we just need some kind of way to connect, to communicate, and get our message out there, and be of the same mind and same pathways, and just help build each other up on that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what I'm trying to do is help build people's mental situation up. Mine ain't all that great, but it's doing pretty good. But I could always
Raising
use some
everybody's
improvement.
frequency.
Yeah, there you go. Raising the frequency. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you again. And you
Thank
have a great
you.
night.
Have a
Bye
good
bye.
evening. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
All right. Well, everybody, that was nice. And thank you, Bobby and Oofy, and Esther was here. Charles was here for a little bit. And everyone else who popped in and visited us on Facebook. Let me see. Now, Kimberly was going to be here, but I don't think she's able to be here today. She was traveling or something. I don't know. Let me see if she's even home. Kind of late, though. Yeah, she might be asleep by now. Okay, well, I guess that'll be it for now. Then we'll call it a night, and then we'll try to get Kimberly on at another time, maybe at a earlier hour. We'll try to get her over here. We might have her do a recording and just send it to me if she wants to do a voice recording and actually just send it, and I'll put it on the air for her if she wants to do it that way. That's what we could do. There was something that I just noticed about turning on something about recording something. Turning on, what was that? There was a message when I signed on here tonight. Something about recording something in the studio. Not necessarily having to go live or nothing, just record it and air it, and then you upload it or whatever. I don't know. I don't get what they meant. But anyway, hey, we have 3 people watching right now. We're all ready to wrap it up. 2 on Errt Radio. We don't use that one. Errt Radio show is 1. Funny, I don't even use Errt Radio itself, the Facebook page. I use Errt Radio shows. There goes my coughing again from talking about those UFOs or listening. Alright, now we're talking crazy. But anyway, next week, hopefully I'll have my new computer up and running. And it's paid for now. Now I just gotta wait for the monitor to get here. And I'll be here on Monday. I got my keyboard, mouse, and headphones. New set for the new computer. So that way it'll all work together. And that'll be perfect. So I'll work on that Monday when I get that monitor. Monday or Tuesday, whatever day. And it's supposed to be your Monday, they said. But anyway, I want to again thank everyone for being here. And Jessica was a lot of fun. And hopefully she'll consider that option to be a regular part of the panel, or if she wants to do her own show, we can talk about that. And we'll work on that connection there to make that happen, hopefully. And yeah, just we have a pretty good group of people that we talk about and talk to and share our experiences with. So we all want the same thing, though. We want information about what's happening next, usually. Sometimes it's what happened yesterday, but most of the time it's what's happening next. And so the interesting thing is this, that I enjoy all of you guys who come by here and visit us. And I'll be here next Friday, even though Thanksgiving is Thursday. I think Maureen was talking about doing a recorded show for Thanksgiving Day. So there'll be a show. I don't know if it'll be live, but I'll try to be in the chat if she does do one recorded show that she puts out there. And then I'll be in chat and connecting with people. All right. Did anyone go over to the regular YouTube channel to see if anything's popping up with it or shouldn't? We shouldn't have anything. Let me see if I can do that now. Okay, I don't see any message from Kimberly. So we're going to let her go to sleep, I guess. Let her sleep and not bother her. Let me see what we got here. Oh, there I am. Okay. Now, let me see. I'm going to mute that. Alright, I don't see anything here yet. Good. Looks like you guys have been taking care of it. Like that. I'll share it again because I'm crazy like that. I'll share my own video to my own page. Well, I'm doing it live. That's pretty tricky there. Now, for anyone complaining about music that I might have on this video, I have 0 music on this video. So if anyone is falsely claiming copyright on music that I don't have, then we got a problem. And I'm going to find out how to correct this problem. And we're going to get it done and get you guys taken care of. Whoever is doing that. Because I have 0 music playing. Period. So anyway, enough of that mess. Alright, we're out of here, folks. went pretty good tonight. Close out of there. Get back over to the studio. Alright, we went 1:39:12. Yeah, we're out of here. And we will see everybody on the next one and let it go to 40. Tomorrow we got Saturday morning music show. And then I don't know if I'll do anything Saturday night, personally. I might do something Saturday night if there ain't nothing else going on. We'll see. What the heck? Yep, thank you, Oofy, and I'm glad you made it to the show. Jessica was a lot of fun, and hopefully she'll be considering that offer to come on back and be part of a regular show with us. That'd be awesome. And just another way to help get the word out and get her message out and her gifts and whatever she's doing with her different things that she's involved with, and just get everybody connected. Connect all of the dots. Alright? So, with that, we're going to call it a night. It's 1:41, going on 1:41. Let it switch over, and we'll call it a night. And we'll see everybody on the next one. Okay, hold on. Wait for it. Got 30 seconds yet. Sunday night, I don't have anything going on Sunday night. But usually we're busy on Sunday night watching other shows. So, now next week, I don't know about that. With the holiday weekend, I think everyone's going to take off, but everywhere else. Not me, though. I'll keep working. I'll work right through the holiday. Because why? Well, I ain't got nothing else to do. Alright, we're out of here, folks. We'll see you next time.